Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai Movie Monster Series Kiryu 2002. Now, this version of Kiryu comes from the 2002 film Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which is honestly one of my favorite Godzilla movies. I love that movie to death. Easily in my list of top 4 favorite Godzilla movies, so yeah. Actually, I was very fortunate enough to see this movie on the big screen for Godzilla Day. I went to go see it with my mom, and we both had a good time. And yeah, at the end of the day, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla is a great movie, and I definitely recommend that you guys check it out if you haven't already. I know Hulu recently added it, but unfortunately it's dubbed only, which, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I know the Blu-ray is readily available on, like, Amazon and sites like that, so definitely check it out if you can. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot else to say, so let's just get right into this. Of course, before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a quick look at the tag that this figure comes with. For the front here, we have a nice picture of Kiryu from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which looks really nice. At the bottom here, Mechagodzilla 2002. Well, it's Kiryu, but whatever. Godzilla 2022 right there. On the back, we have Kiryu's shoulder weapons here, as well as Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Movie Monster Series, Bandai, and Bandai Namco. On the inside here, we have a lot of legal information. It's a lot of all of this is just in Japanese, so unfortunately I can't read this. But yeah, also I don't know why there's like a blue stain right here. I don't know what that's all about, but regardless, yeah, that's the inside of the tag, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the tag on this figure. Of course, going back to the figure, now we'll take a look at the paint. And the painting on this figure, well, let's take a closer look. First of all, the weapons on his forearms are painted a nice blue color, and I think that looks nice. And same with his shoulder weapons here. Again, these are painted very nicely. It looks really nice. The entire thing, unfortunately, isn't painted. Like, the underside here is left unpainted. And same with this part of the back here. And even like the front here, that's unpainted. I don't know why. There's like a weird like paint chipping here, which I don't know what that's about. But regardless, those are minor things. It would have been nice if they were better painted. But again, for what they are, like, they don't look terrible. The ends of the weapons here, we have a nice metallic gray, a very dark shade of metallic gray, which I think looks really nice. The eyes here are painted yellow with the red streaks coming down from his eyes, which I think looks alright. I don't know why. On mine, I don't know if you can see it, but like right here, they're like weird like blue scuff marks. I don't know what that's about, but unfortunately that's a problem with my figure, so yeah. It's very, very minor, but again, something I think is worth pointing out. And now, I think it's about time we address the elephant in the room. This figure is very half-assed because there's a lot of missing paint here. Like the thighs here and the neck and like the waist here and even like especially on the tail, anywhere that has like wiring here, like on the tail here and like I said, the inner thighs here, all of this should be painted black, right? Because if you look at the design in the movie, like those parts are colored black, but here they're just left as this metallic silver color, which it doesn't bother me that much, actually. Yeah. I mean, it would have been nicer. It definitely would have been nicer if they were painted properly, but honestly, it still doesn't look bad. Like, overall, this figure still looks very presentable, as is. So, yeah. Again, it would have been 100 times better if the black parts on the neck were actually painted and, like, even on the thighs here and everything. Like, if this figure was, like, properly painted, this thing would have looked amazing. But instead, they just kind of left us as, like, a metallic silver, which, again, I'm not, like, it doesn't look great, but, again, for what it is, like, it doesn't bother me that much. This figure still looks very presentable, so, yeah. And also, because I forgot to point this out, on the shins here, we have these red triangles. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the figure. This might be generous, but I'm going to give the painting here 3/4 of a pass, because again, like, yeah, the lack of painting, especially where, like, all the black is supposed to be, it's definitely noticeable, and it definitely is distracting, but it doesn't bother me that much because this figure still looks very nice. So yeah, the painting on this figure, not the worst, but at the same time, it definitely could have been better. So the painting on this figure, I'd say gets 3/4 of a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation. And the articulation on this figure, well, I mean, it's a Bandai vinyl, so it's not too special. But anyway, the head could move 360, but unfortunately, his shoulder weapons get in the way, so I don't recommend, like, intentionally, like, bumping into these. I mean, you could just kind of move those out of the way, but again, I wouldn't recommend doing that. So, yeah, but the head is on a swivel. The arms can move backwards about that much, and forwards about that much, so there you go. And lastly, the tail has a swivel. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. Some leg articulation would have been nice, but honestly, as is, this isn't terrible. It's fine. It's a Bandai vinyl. Who cares? The articulation, it's a Bandai vinyl. Whatever. It gets a pass. Moving on. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is honestly pretty much perfect. Like, this is one-to-one Kiryu from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I mean, it's a Bandai vinyl, so it's not going to be like, it's not going to be the highest quality sculpt, but still, it definitely does a great job at, pulling off a very nice looking Kiryu. And I think that's part of the reason why the lack of paint isn't really a big deal to me, because overall, like, the sculpting here is still very nice. If it was just, like, a very, like, bland, generic looking figure with a lack of paint apps, that'd be one thing, but no, the sculpting here is very nice, and it looks great. It's very similar to the Bandai Movie Monster Series Megalon that I reviewed last year. Um, yeah, that figure, like, the sculpting was great, but it barely had any paint apps. But it didn't bother me because, the sculpting, it still looked good. It still looked like Megalon, and that applies here. Like, yeah, the painting could definitely be better, but, it looks like Kiryu. It does a great job of that, so yeah, the sculpting on this figure is amazing. So, yeah, the sculpting here is great. Definitely gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure, just like with the sculpting, is very nice. So let's take a closer look. So starting off at the head here, we can see that all of the mechanical detailing in the face here and in the snout, and even in the neck here, all the wires, everything here is detailed very nicely. And even like his neck here, again, all the wiring is just detailed very nicely. Everything here is just very nicely defined. And the shoulder weapons here, again, just have a lot of great detailing here. All the panel lines and everything like that just looks great. And yeah, just a lot of great mechanical detailing. The torso, again, is detailed very nicely. Again, it's just, there's a lot of nice, like, metallic looking, like, detailing. Or, not metallic, but, like, very robotic, and it looks great here. And same with the arms here. Again, just a lot of really nice detailing of the paneling. And on the forearm weapons here, again, these just look great. And even his hands have a decent amount of detailing too. So, yeah. Again, his legs here, the detailing here is just great. The wires here especially are beautifully defined. And same with the legs here, all the panel lines and all that. Again, everything here just looks very solid, very neatly detailed, and yeah, it looks great. Going to his tail here, again, all the panels here look great, and again, all the wires just very beautifully defined, and that continues all the way to the end of the tail here. And even the dorsal plates are detailed nicely as well. Again, just a lot of really nice paneling here. And yeah, the hatch door right on his ass there. And yeah, just a lot of great detailing on this figure. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. Yeah, the detailing here is great. No question about it. So, yeah, the detailing here definitely gets a pass. Now, we'll do some size comparisons. Here we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 Special Color version. Unfortunately, I was not able to pick up the SH Monster Arts 2002 Godzilla. Well, when it first came out, but I know they're re-releasing it like sometime next year, and I did pre-order that figure, so yeah, I'll definitely review him whenever he comes in. So yeah, here we have the Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla Tokyo SOS Kiryu. Someone told me the backstory about this guy here. I guess he was sold like in Japan, and he was sold with like a piece of candy or something. I've heard people call this guy the Candy Kiryu, and I don't know the proper backstory, but basically, here he is with everyone here. And of course, here we have some sanitizer, hand sanitizer to be precise. And of course, here we have Dr. Billy Grant. So at the end of the day, should you get this figure? The lacking paint job is pretty distracting, to say the least, but honestly, for what this guy is and how much he's worth, I'd still recommend getting this guy because I do like this figure a lot. I mean, like I said, the paint could be better. I mean, it could be a lot better, but still, like, the sculpting and detailing here is still very nice. And I think that's what saves this figure. Like, I think a lacking paint job can be saved from like great sculpt and detailing, which is how I feel about the Movie Monster Series Megalon figure that I reviewed last year. Like, that figure didn't really have a great paint job, like, at all. It was very lacking, but the sculpting and detailing on that figure was still very nice. And same with this guy. Like, the paint job could definitely be better, but still, the sculpting and detailing here looks great. So, yeah, I do like this figure. I like him. I like him a decent amount. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of the more higher end Kiryu figures that have better paint jobs are not affordable at all. And that new Silver Shigoken Kiryu that's coming out probably sometime next year. Um, I mean, I'm definitely gonna try to pick him up, but I know he's not gonna be cheap. We don't know how much he is yet. They didn't say a price, but oh, good lord, my poor wallet. But yeah, no, this guy, he's only like $26 from Hobby Link Japan, which is not bad at all. I know other websites like Awesome Collector has this guy for like $35, which not really. I think 26 is a better price tag, but yeah, still. This figure, if you want like a budget 2002 Kiryu figure, then I think that this guy is the way to go because again, paint job aside, I actually do really like this figure. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.